This video will cover how to add the SQL PI extension to a Foglight Oracle agent. My name is Daryl Williams and I'm a technical product specialist. The objective of this demo will cover how to add the SQL PI extension to a previously created Foglight Oracle agent, currently running without the SQL PI feature. The process has some minimum requirements. Please review the prerequisites and requirements as a setup reference. Also consult the Foglight docs mentioned below. To add the SQL PI extension to Foglight Oracle agents, log into the Foglight web console with your Foglight user and click on Databases to access the database's dashboards. Checkbox the Foglight Oracle agent or agents for adding the SQL PI extension to, as this process can assign the feature to multiple agents simultaneously. The selected agents should not have the SQL PI indicator listed under Monitoring Status. Click Settings, Administration to access the Database's Administration dashboard. Locate the SQL Performance Investigator section. Click it to enter the SQL PI admin screen. The SQL Performance Investigator settings screen allows to enable or disable and configure the SQL PI extension on the selected Oracle agents. Also permits assigning a SQL PI repository to an agent manager. Each agent manager can be connected to only one repository. All monitoring Oracle agents on that agent manager will work with the selected repository. There are some specific sizing requirements to adhere to listed in the sizing guide. The partition display contains the following. In the top tier comprises the agent managers used to discover and manage data collection from the Foglight Oracle agent listed below. And if it exists, the assigned SQL PI repository host where the SQL PI data is stored. And the bottom tier shows the Foglight Oracle instance agent selected for configuring the SQL PI extension. Checkmark the agent managers will display its responsible Foglight Oracle agent and ready it for SQL PI configuration. To configure SQL PI to an agent where a SQL PI repository is already assigned, merely click in the box of the agent and click Enable. Pop-up cycling of necessary connections begins, and with success, the Foglight Oracle agent becomes registered to the SQL PI repository. The SQL PI state of the agent is now enabled green, meaning the SQL PI feature has been added to the agent. To configure SQL PI to an agent where there is no SQL PI repository yet assigned, click on the assigned SPI repository. A dialog box displays, revealing SQL PI repository details and also showing a pick list of agent managers. A hypertext link hardware sizing guide is available to review before proceeding with the selection, as well as noteworthy requirements and recommendations. It's suggested to locate the SQL PI repository on a dedicated host. The list of agent managers shown with the gear icon are candidates to have a PI repository created. Creation is transparent and seamless to the user. Clicking the gear allows modifying the port and changing the installation location of the repository if needed. The default repository software install directory will be the same location as the agent manager software. Best practice is to choose a location other than the C drive for resource management. Agent managers presented with a green checkmark are hosts with existing PI repositories, including any configured for Foglight SQL Server SQL PI agents. The SQL PI database is a unified repository that can store data from both SQL Server and Oracle databases. The Windows 75 and 79 in my environment are agent managers set up for discovering instances and managing the collections of data for those discovered instances. Because of that responsibility, the agent managers don't fit the recommended criteria of a dedicated host for a SQL PI repository. The Windows 76 for my setup is not managing any agents for data collections, therefore will classify as a dedicated host for the SQL PI repository. Select the agent manager of choice and click Apply. The agent manager is now assigned a SPI repository, and both agent managers are linked to the same repository as an option. Multiple agent managers can share the same repository host as long as the repository host adheres to the size requirements. The final step, configure SQL PI for the agent. Click in the box alongside the agent and click Enable. Pop-up cycling of configurations begin, and with success, the Foglight Oracle agent is SQL PI enabled. All selected agents are now configured with the SQL PI extension. Data collections should now be reflective of the feature. Click the breadcrumb back to the database's dashboards to view the agents. The new SQL PI indicator reference will also be prominent there in all the corresponding databases dashboards.